I want to tell everybody about the story of Hannah from the book of Samuel in the Old Testament. Hannah was barren. She could not have children. And to make matters worse, her husband had another wife who could have children, and the other wife would mock her. So Hannah was in a dark place, just like so many of us are right now. But she believed in God with all of her heart. So she continuously poured out her soul, poured out everything she had in her prayers to the Lord. She knows if there's anybody who can give her that baby, it's God. So one day when she's reached just full despair, her husband said that she's been weeping and not eating. So she takes it to God, just like we need to do. Whenever we really need something, we need to take it to God. And if it's in His will, He'll grant it for us. We need to go to Him humbly, pour out our spirit, pour out our souls to Him, and see what the result will be. And you may be surprised. But in 1 Samuel, we see Hannah pray to the Lord again with everything she has. She was deeply distressed and prayed to the Lord and wept bitterly. And she vowed a vow and said, O Lord of hosts, if you will indeed look on the affliction of your servant and remember me and not forget your servant, but will give to your servant a son, then I will give him to the Lord all the days of his life, and no razor shall touch his head. So the thing that she's yearning for the most, she's willing to dedicate to the only one who can actually give it to her, God. Another interesting thing here, Eli the priest actually thinks that she's drunk because her lips are moving, but the words are not coming out. But we know from the text that she's actually just giving everything to God, pouring out her spirit. And Eli said to her, how long will you go on being drunk? Put your wine away from you. But Hannah answered, no, my Lord, I am a woman troubled in spirit. I have drunk neither wine nor strong drink, but I have been pouring out my soul before the Lord. Verse 19 says, they rose early in the morning and worshipped before the Lord. Then they went back to their house at Ramah, and Elkanah knew Hannah his wife, and the Lord remembered her. God remembered her prayers. And in due time, Hannah conceived and bore a son, and she called his name Samuel, for she said, I have asked for him from the Lord. And after God gave her this child that she yearned for so much, she did the hardest thing ever and dedicated Samuel to the Lord. And Samuel went and lived with the priest at a very young age. But that's how important God was to her. And she knew that it was God who gave her that miracle. And one of the most important parts of this event is that when Hannah was granted her miracle, she honored God. She exalted him. She held him up and worshiped him and dedicated her son and prayed and worshiped and thanked him for the miracle that was given to her. She says this beautiful prayer in 2 Samuel chapter 2. My heart exalts in the Lord. My horn is exalted in the Lord. My mouth derides my enemies because I rejoice in your salvation. There is none holy like the Lord, for there is none beside you. There is no rock like our God. Talk no more so very proudly. Let not arrogance come from your mouth, for the Lord is a God of knowledge, and by him actions are weighed. The bows of the mighty are broken, but the feeble bind on strength. Those who are full have hired themselves out for bread, but those who are hungry have ceased to hunger. The barren has borne 7, but she who has many children is forlorn. The Lord kills and brings to life. He brings down to Sheol and raises up. The Lord makes poor and makes rich. He brings low and he exalts. He raises up the poor from the dust. He lifts the needy from the ash heap to make them sit with princes and inherit a seat of honor. For the pillars of the earth are the Lord's, and on them he has set the world. He will guard the feet of his faithful ones, but the wicked shall be cut off in darkness. For not by might shall man prevail. The adversaries of the Lord shall be broken to pieces. Against them he will thunder in heaven. The Lord will judge the ends of the earth. He will give strength to his king and exalt the horn of his anointed. What a beautiful prayer, and what a beautiful way to honor God after he gave her exactly what she needed. Hannah's story touches my heart every single time I read it, because She poured out her soul. She went through so much pain and strife, yearning for a child. And in pain, she prayed. In suffering, she continuously came to the Lord. Then it reminds me of Psalm 34, verse 18. The Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit. When we come to God with our full soul and pour everything out to Him, He remembers us. He understands how important it is to us. And if it's in His will, He'll grant you what you ask. Many of us are in that season right now where we need something from God, and we're begging for it continuously, over and over and over. And maybe it feels hopeless because we're not receiving it. But just remember, Hannah went through a whole season where she wasn't receiving what she was praying for. She went through mockery, but she continued to have her faith. So even if you're praying for something that you're not receiving, stay faithful and continue asking. Keep coming to God. Psalm 62, verse 5 through 8. For God alone, O my soul, wait in silence, for my hope is from Him. He only is my rock and my salvation, my fortress. I shall not be shaken. On God rest my salvation and my glory. My mighty rock, my refuge is God. Trust in Him at all times. O people, pour out your hearts before Him, for God is a refuge to us. So whatever it is in your life, whatever you're seeking, just remember to stay faithful the same way Hannah stayed faithful. And then one day you may get that miracle. And when you get that miracle, just remember to honor God, shout it from the rooftops, pray to God and say, thank you for everything you've done for me. Thank you for granting me exactly what I needed, Lord. And remember, on all things, God is the final authority. God has the final say. So no matter what you're going through in your life, no matter what the circumstance is that you've been told can't change or that you personally believe cannot change, God can change it. No matter what it is. He is a miracle worker. He is a healer, and we know that. So go to Him fully. Pour out your heart, pour out your soul, and ask, and you will receive.